What's your emergency? Trainer injured. The Orca attacked the trainer. We need help immediately. It was meant to be a flawless performance, a breathtaking display of trust between human and animal, but something went terribly wrong. What began as a routine show ended in unimaginable tragedy. This is the story of Maris Ellington, a respected orca trainer whose final moments left a permanent scar on the world of marine entertainment. Before we continue, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this story. That way, we can keep bringing you impactful documentaries like this one. Let's begin. Maris Ellington wasn't just another marine mammal trainer. From a young age, she was fascinated by the ocean. While other children collected seashells, Maris memorized the names of whale and dolphin species. By age 10, she could mimic their calls. At 16, she volunteered at her local aquarium, cleaning tanks, taking notes, asking questions no one else thought to ask. At 24, she graduated with honors in biology, specializing in marine behavior. But it wasn't her degrees that set her apart. It was her connection with the animals. She understood them, felt what they felt. Colleagues said Maris communicated with orcas in a silent language few could comprehend. She was hired by Ocean World's flagship park shortly after graduation. It was a dream come true. Maris quickly became one of the park's most trusted trainers. Visitors remembered her name. New professionals looked up to her. Outside the water, she advocated for better animal welfare. She believed that coexistence between humans and marine predators should be built on respect, not dominance. She often said, "They don't work for us, we work together." But in the world of marine shows, not everything is as it seems. Behind the smiles and synchronized jumps are highly complex beings, intelligent, emotional, and sometimes unpredictable. Maris knew this better than anyone. Still, on that day, even she couldn't foresee what was coming. Ocean World was a monumental attraction, spanning over 60 hectares of artificial lagoons, theaters, and designed enclosures. Its main highlight, the Orca Show, a high-energy, emotionally charged performance featuring the largest predators in captivity. Behind massive glass panels and artificial waves, orcas leaped, spun, and splashed with precision. The audience applauded, in awe. But behind the applause lay a complex history filled with beauty and darkness. The park's orca program began over 30 years ago, during a time when capturing these animals was still legal in some parts of the world. Initially, the shows were simple, based on obedience demonstrations. Over time, the acts became bolder. Trainers swam with the animals, surfed on their fins, kissed their snouts. The public didn't see the physical and psychological pressure humans and orcas faced to maintain the illusion of harmony. Among all the park's orcas, one stood out, a massive 5-ton male named Cairo. Captured as a calf off the coast of Iceland, he had spent over 20 years in captivity. Measuring 7 meters long, with deep scars from disputes with other males, he was imposing. Trainers described him as intelligent, moody, and unpredictable. Several episodes of strange behavior were recorded: refusal to follow commands, agitation, territorial behavior, all documented but kept from the public. Experts warned that captive orcas, especially males, develop behavioral disorders. Accustomed to swimming up to 160 kilometers a day in complex family groups, they now lived in artificial tanks, unstimulated, separated from their natural bonds. Dr. Elaine Satterfield, a marine biologist and former park consultant, said, "When we take an orca from the wild, we don't just put its body in a tank, we put its mind in a prison, and sometimes it breaks." Despite the warnings, Cairo remained the park's star. He drew crowds, performed the show, and most importantly, he trusted Maris, or at least he did until then. In the weeks leading up to the incident, something changed. Cairo began floating for long periods, ignored commands, showed signs of irritation, jaw-popping, a warning behavior. On the morning of the attack, the water was calm, deceptively calm. It was February 17th, a sunny day. The audience filled the stands for the 11:45 a.m. show. Maris prepared as usual, checking equipment, reviewing commands with handlers, observing Cairo through the glass. He swam slowly, oddly. At 11:46 a.m., she stepped onto the platform, wearing a wetsuit, hair tied back, headset on. The crowd cheered as Cairo leaped, soaking the front row. Everything seemed normal, but the signs were there. Cairo hesitated. On 2 commands, his movements were aggressive, Maris noticed. But she remained calm, guiding him with gentle gestures and rewards. Their years of trust were her foundation, perhaps too much trust. At 11:58 a.m., the most intimate moment of the show arrived. Maris stood face to face with Cairo on a submerged platform and extended her arm to initiate the side swim, but Cairo didn't respond as expected. He submerged and resurfaced in the wrong spot. Without warning, he lunged. He clamped Maris's arm in his jaws and pulled her into the water with brutal force. The audience screamed. Some thought it was part of the show, others knew immediately it wasn't. Underwater, the terror began. Trainers activated alarms and sound. Signals to distract Cairo. Nothing worked. He dove and spun with Maris still trapped. In seconds, a minute passed, then 2. Teams tried to close emergency gates. They threw nets, barriers, tried to lure Cairo with food. He didn't respond. At 12:03 p.m., the rescue team arrived, but couldn't enter with the Orca still aggressive. They watched helplessly as the water churned, then became still. At 12:08 p.m., Cairo finally released her. Maris's body was retrieved. She was unconscious. Paramedics attempted resuscitation on the spot. Children cried. Adults stared in silence. At 12:23 p.m., Maris was declared dead. In less than 7 minutes, a promising career and a life dedicated to animals ended in tragic and brutal fashion. Why did Cairo attack? Stress? Instinct? Or something we still don't understand? The park was immediately closed, shows suspended. A brief statement was issued. With deep sorrow, we confirm the passing of our beloved trainer Maris Ellington. Investigations began. Federal authorities, experts, veterinarians analyzed every frame of the attack video. Old reports were reviewed. Hidden details came to light. The necropsy revealed Maris suffered severe trauma, broken ribs, dislocated shoulder, damaged lungs. The official cause was drowning due to prolonged submersion, but the internal injuries alone could have been fatal. The news spread nationwide. Headlines read, "Orca kills veteran trainer." Protests emerged. Former trainers claimed warnings about Cairo were ignored. Memorials with flowers and letters were left at the park gates. The debate ignited. Was it time to